Okay, let's be completely honest here for a second. You probably watched 1,000 glow up videos. You've bought the skincare routine, copied the makeup tutorials, tried the hair techniques. Maybe you even got the cute outfits and practiced the poses in your mirror. But here's what nobody talks about. There are girls who can roll out of bed looking absolutely devastating, and then there are girls who can spend 3 hours getting ready and still feel invisible. What's the difference? It's not the bone structure, it's not the bank account, it's definitely not the filter app. It's something I call the goddess aura, and I'm about to teach you exactly how to turn yours on like a light switch. I know that sounds dramatic, but stick with me because what I'm sharing today isn't your typical beauty advice. This isn't about contouring your way to confidence or buying your way to better. This is about understanding the actual science behind what makes someone magnetic and then using that knowledge to completely transform how the world sees you. Here's what I discovered after years of feeling like I was doing everything right, but still not getting the results I wanted. 99% of glow-up advice focuses on the wrong things entirely. Think about it. You know that girl in your class or at work who just has it. Maybe her makeup isn't perfect, maybe her outfit came from Target, but when she walks into a room, something shifts. People look. They remember her. They want to be around her. That's not an accident. That's the goddess aura in action. And before you roll your eyes thinking this is going to be some mystical woo-woo thing, let me stop you right there. What I'm talking about is backed by actual psychology, neuroscience, and years of testing on myself and my friends. This stuff is real, it's measurable, and it works faster than you think. I first stumbled onto this concept completely by accident. I was going through what I can only describe as my lowest glow point ever. You know those phases where you feel like you're trying so hard, but everything just feels off? My skin was breaking out despite my expensive routine. My hair looked flat no matter what products I used. I felt awkward in photos and invisible in social situations. But then something weird happened. I was running late for class one morning, like seriously late. No time for my usual hour-long routine. I threw on whatever was clean, barely looked in the mirror, and rushed out the door feeling completely unprepared. And that was the day 3 different people asked me what I'd changed about myself because I looked so good and so confident. I'm not even kidding. The day I put in the least effort was the day I got the most compliments I'd received in months. That's when I realized I'd been approaching this whole thing backwards. See, here's what nobody tells you about true radiance. It has almost nothing to do with perfection and everything to do with energy. It's not about having flawless skin. It's about having skin that looks alive. It's not about perfect features. It's about features that move and express with confidence. It's not about the most expensive products. It's about understanding how to work with what you already have. The girls who have that untouchable goddess energy, they've figured out the secret that beauty companies don't want you to know. You already have everything you need. You just need to know how to activate it. And that's exactly what we're doing today. I'm going to break down the entire goddess aura method for you step by step. We're talking about the mindset shifts that literally change how your face looks, the physical techniques that make your skin glow from within, the energy practices that make people gravitate towards you without even knowing why. This isn't about becoming someone else. This is about becoming the most magnetic version of yourself. But first, let me tell you why most glow-up advice doesn't work. The problem with 90% of the transformation content out there is that it's focused entirely on the surface level. Buy this foundation, try this hairstyle, wear these clothes. It's all external fixes for what's actually an internal shift. Don't get me wrong, the external stuff matters. We're going to cover all of that. But if you're trying to build goddess-level magnetism on a foundation of self-doubt and comparison, you're building a house on sand. I learned this the hard way during my own glow-up journey. I was so focused on copying what worked for other girls that I completely lost sight of what made me, well, me. I was trying so hard to be perfect that I forgot to be interesting. I was so concerned with having flawless everything that I stopped expressing anything. And here's the thing about perfection. It's actually kind of boring. Think about the most captivating people you know. Are they perfect? Probably not. But they have something more valuable than perfection. They have presence, they have energy, they have that indefinable quality that makes you want to keep looking at them. That's the goddess aura. And it's not something you're born with or without. It's something you can develop and strengthen just like any other skill. The method I'm sharing with you today is the result of months of experimentation, research, and real-world testing. I've broken it down into a system that works whether you're a makeup beginner or someone who's been perfecting your routine for years, whether you have 5 minutes in the morning or an hour, whether your budget is $20 or $200. Because here's what I've discovered. The most powerful transformations happen when you understand the principles behind what works, not just the specific steps. When you understand why certain makeup techniques make you look more awake and confident, You can adapt them to work with your unique features. When you understand the psychology behind magnetic energy, you can cultivate it regardless of what you're wearing or how you're feeling that day. That's what real confidence looks like. Not the fake it till you make it kind that feels exhausting to maintain, but the deep, unshakable kind that comes from knowing exactly who you are and how to present that person to the world. So here's what we're covering in the next hour that's going to completely change your relationship with your own reflection. In part 2, we're diving deep into what radiance actually is. Not the Instagram filter version, but the real thing that makes people stop and stare. I'm going to show you the 3 different types of glow that separate the girls who blend in from the ones who stand out, and which type you're probably missing without even knowing it. Part 3 is where things get really interesting. We're talking about the inner glow algorithm, the mindset and energy work that literally changes your face structure overnight. I know that sounds impossible, but I'm going to show you the science behind why your thoughts and beliefs show up in your physical appearance and how to use that to your advantage. Part 4 covers the physical foundation, the skin prep that makes everything else look effortless. This isn't your basic skincare routine. This is the advanced stuff that makes makeup artists charge $300 just to prep your face. And I'm going to show you how to do it at home with products you probably already have. In part 5, we get into the makeup secrets that actually make a difference. Not more products, but better techniques. The placement tricks that make your features look naturally perfect. The color theory that makes your skin look expensive. The blending methods that make everything look seamless and professional. Part 6 is about everything else: hair, style, posture, energy. The complete package that takes you from pretty to absolutely magnetic. This is where we talk about the subtle details that most people overlook, but that make the biggest impact. Part 7 is my favorite because it's where we put it all together. And I'm going to walk you through the complete transformation routine in real time and show you exactly what happened when I tested this method on my friends. The reactions were honestly insane, and I have the receipts to prove it. And finally, Part 8 is about making this your new normal, because the goal isn't just to look amazing for one day, it's to become the kind of person who consistently shows up as their most magnetic self without burning out or spending hours in front of the mirror every morning. But here's the thing I need you to understand before we go any further. This only works if you're willing to challenge some of the beliefs you might have about beauty, confidence, and what it means to be attractive. Most of us have been conditioned to think that looking good is about hiding our flaws and copying what works for other people. But what I've discovered is that true magnetism comes from the exact opposite approach. It's about enhancing what makes you unique and expressing it with complete confidence. That means we're going to talk about some stuff that might feel uncomfortable at first. Like why trying to be perfect is actually making you less attractive. Why comparing yourself to other girls is sabotaging your glow up. Why the features you think are flaws might actually be your biggest assets. But I promise you, if you stick with me through this process, you're going to see results that go way beyond just looking prettier in photos. You're going to develop the kind of confidence that changes how you move through the world. The kind of energy that makes people want to be around you. The kind of presence that makes you unforgettable. And the best part? Most of these changes happen faster than you think. Some of them you'll notice immediately. Others will compound over the next few days and weeks until people start asking you what you've changed about yourself. I still remember the first time someone told me I had goddess energy. I almost laughed because just months before, I had been Googling things like how to be prettier and why don't people notice me. The transformation felt so natural that I almost forgot how different I used to feel. That's what I want for you. Not a complete personality overhaul, but a coming home to the most confident, magnetic version of yourself that was always there, just waiting to be activated. But here's what you need to know before we dive into the actual techniques. The goddess aura isn't just about looking good. It's about feeling good. It's about walking into any room and knowing that you belong there. It's about being so comfortable in your own skin that other people can't help but feel comfortable around you too. And that kind of transformation, it starts from the inside out. Which brings me to the one thing that's going to make or break your success with this method. It's not your skin type or your face shape or your budget. It's your willingness to believe that you're worthy of feeling absolutely magnetic exactly as you are right now. Because here's the secret that changed everything for me. You're not trying to become someone else. You're trying to become more yourself, more confident, more expressive, more alive. The techniques I'm about to teach you are just tools to help you express what's already there. The girl with the goddess aura, she's already inside you. She's been there this whole time, maybe just waiting for someone to give her permission to shine. Consider this your permission slip. Okay, so let's start with a question that's probably going to make you think, when was the last time you saw someone and immediately thought, wow, she just has something special about her, but you couldn't quite put your finger on what it was? Maybe it was a girl at Starbucks who wasn't even wearing makeup, but somehow looked absolutely glowing. Or someone at a party who wasn't the most conventionally attractive person there, but everyone seemed drawn to her like a magnet. That something special you couldn't identify, that's real radiance. And it has almost nothing to do with what the beauty industry has been trying to sell you. Here's the shocking truth that's going to save you so much money and frustration. You cannot buy your way to genuine magnetism. You just can't. I know that's not what you want to hear, especially when you've been convinced that the next serum or the right foundation or those viral lashes are going to be your glow up game changer. But I need you to understand this because it's the foundation of everything else we're going to cover. Real radiance comes from 3 places, and exactly 0 of them are available at Sephora. Let me tell you about my friend Maya. Maya uses drugstore everything. Her entire makeup routine probably costs less than 1 Charlotte Tilbury lipstick. Her skincare is basic. Cleanser, moisturizer, sunscreen. She gets her hair cut at Supercuts. But Maya is the girl that everyone remembers. She's the one guys text first when they want to hang out. She's the one other girls ask for advice. She walks into a room and something shifts. Why? Because Maya has figured out what most people spend thousands of dollars trying to fake. She has authentic radiance. And before you think, oh, she's probably just naturally gorgeous, let me stop you right there. Maya is pretty, sure, but so are a lot of people who don't have that magnetic quality. What makes Maya different isn't her features, it's how she inhabits them. This is what I mean when I talk about the difference between looking pretty and having goddess energy. Looking pretty is about meeting certain standards. Having goddess energy is about setting your own standards and being so confident in them that other people can't help but be intrigued. Let me break down the 3 types of glow that separate the girls who blend into the background from the ones who light up the room, and I guarantee you've been focusing on the wrong one. Type 1, surface glow. This is what most beauty content focuses on. It's the dewy skin, the perfect highlight, the glossy lips. It's what shows up in photos and what makeup tutorials are designed to create. Surface glow is great. It's fun, it's instant, and it definitely makes you look more polished. But here's what nobody tells you. Surface glow without the other 2 types just makes you look like you're trying really hard. You know that girl who always looks perfectly put together but somehow still seems forgettable? She's mastered surface glow but stopped there. She's got the technique down but she's missing the magic. Don't get me wrong, we're going to cover surface glow techniques that will make your skin look absolutely incredible. But if that's all you focus on, you're missing about 80% of what makes someone truly magnetic. Type 2, health glow. This is the glow that comes from genuinely taking care of yourself. It's what happens when you're hydrated, well-rested, moving your body, and eating foods that make you feel good. Health glow is sneaky because it doesn't show up immediately, but when it kicks in, it's undeniable. It's that lit from within quality that no highlighter can replicate. It's clear eyes, smooth skin, shiny hair, and energy that radiates from every pore. The thing about health glow is that it makes everything else work better. Your makeup applies more smoothly, your hair holds styles longer, your skin looks good even without products. But here's where most people go wrong with health glow. They think it's about being perfect. They think they need to be drinking green juice and doing yoga at 5 a.m. and eating nothing but superfoods. That's not health glow, that's health anxiety. And anxiety, no matter how wellness focused, kills your radiance faster than anything. Real health glow comes from consistency with the basics, not perfection with the extremes. It's drinking enough water that your lips don't need constant chapstick. It's getting enough sleep that your eyes don't look tired even without concealer. It's moving your body in ways that make you feel strong, not punished. Type 3, energy glow. And this is the big one, the one that changes everything, the one that most people don't even know exists. Energy glow is what happens when you're completely comfortable with who you are and excited about your life. It's confidence, curiosity, joy, and aliveness all rolled into one. It's what makes people want to be around you even when they can't explain why. Energy glow is magnetic because it's infectious. When you're genuinely enjoying being yourself, other people start enjoying being around you. When you're curious and engaged with the world, other people feel more interesting just by association. This is what Maya has figured out. She's not trying to be anyone else or live anyone else's life. She's completely absorbed in being Maya, and that absorption is absolutely captivating to watch. Energy glow is also the most democratic of the 3 types. It doesn't matter what you look like, what you're wearing, or how much money you have. Energy glow is available to everyone immediately. But, and this is crucial, it requires you to actually like yourself and your life. Not in a fake positive thinking way, but in a genuine, this is who I am and I'm good with it way. Now here's the magic formula that creates true goddess level magnetism. You need all 3 types of glow working together. Surface glow without health glow looks artificial. Health glow without energy glow looks boring. Energy glow without any attention to surface or health just looks chaotic. But when you have all three, that's when people start using words like radiant and glowing and magnetic to describe you. That's when you become the girl that everyone remembers. So why do most glow up attempts fail? Because they focus exclusively on surface glow and maybe a little bit on health glow, but they completely ignore energy glow. You can have perfect skin, flawless makeup, and an amazing outfit. But if your energy is anxious, insecure, or trying too hard, people will sense that immediately. And no amount of highlighter can cover up energetic insecurity. This is why some girls can look absolutely stunning in photos, but somehow seem less impressive in person. Their surface game is on point, but their energy doesn't match what they're presenting visually. On the flip side, this is why some girls aren't traditionally beautiful, but are absolutely unforgettable. Their energy is so compelling that it elevates everything else about their appearance. Let me give you a perfect example of this in action. Last month, I went to a party where there were two girls who couldn't have been more different. Girl A looked like she'd stepped out of a magazine. Perfect hair, perfect makeup, perfect outfit. She was objectively stunning. Girl B was cute, but not a knockout. Her makeup was good, but not professional level. Her outfit was nice, but not designer. Guess who everyone was talking to by the end of the night? Girl B had all three types of glow working for her. Her skin looked healthy and alive, health glow. Her makeup enhanced her features without looking overdone, surface glow. But most importantly, she was genuinely interested in the people she was talking to, told funny stories, and seemed to be having the best time just being exactly where she was. Energy glow. Girl A looked perfect, but she seemed anxious about maintaining that perfection. She was constantly checking her reflection, adjusting her hair, making sure nothing was out of place. Her energy was focused inward instead of outward. By the end of the night, everyone remembered Girl B's name. Girl A, despite being objectively more beautiful, kind of faded into the background. That's the power of understanding what real radiance actually is. Now, let's talk about the psychology behind why some people just command attention when they walk into a room. There is actual science behind this, and it's fascinating. Humans are wired to notice three things immediately when we encounter someone new: threat level, social status, and reproductive fitness. It happens in milliseconds, completely below conscious awareness. But here's what's interesting. None of those assessments are based purely on physical appearance. They're based on energy, posture, facial expressions, and something psychologists call presence. Presence is your ability to be fully engaged with the current moment instead of being distracted by anxiety, self-consciousness, or future planning. When you have presence, people feel it immediately. You seem more real, more substantial, more worth paying attention to. This is why meditation and mindfulness practices can literally change how attractive you are to other people. It's not about becoming more beautiful, it's about becoming more present, which makes you more magnetic. Think about the most charismatic people you know. What do they all have in common? It's not their looks. It's that when you're talking to them, you feel like you're the only person in the room. They're fully there, fully engaged, fully themselves. That quality, presence, is something you can develop. And when you do, it changes everything about how people respond to you. But presence is just one piece of the puzzle. There's also something called emotional contagion, the scientific fact that emotions spread from person to person automatically and unconsciously. If you're anxious, people around you become more anxious, even if they don't know why. If you're confident, people around you feel more confident. If you're joyful, people around you feel more joyful. This is why energy glow is so powerful. When you genuinely feel good about yourself and your life, you're literally broadcasting that feeling to everyone around you, and people are drawn to positive emotions like moths to a flame. But, and this is important, it has to be genuine. People can sense fake confidence from a mile away, and it has the opposite effect. Fake confidence makes people uncomfortable because there's a disconnect between what they're seeing and what they're feeling. This is why the fake it till you make it approach to confidence often backfires. You might look confident on the surface, but if you're feeling insecure underneath, people will pick up on that energetic inconsistency, and it will make them want to avoid you, not approach you. Real confidence, the kind that creates genuine magnetism, comes from self-acceptance, not self-improvement. It comes from being so comfortable with who you are that you don't need other people's approval to feel good about yourself. And here's the plot twist that's going to change how you think about attractiveness forever. The features you think are flaws might actually be your biggest assets. I know that sounds backwards, but hear me out. Conventional beauty is boring because it's predictable. When someone looks exactly like what we expect pretty to look like, our brains categorize them quickly and move on. There's no mystery, no intrigue, no reason to keep looking. But when someone has interesting features, a strong nose, unusual eyes, a distinctive smile, our brains pay attention. There's something to figure out, something to appreciate, something memorable. The girls who become icons aren't usually conventionally beautiful. Think about it. Frida Kahlo, Tilda Swinton, Lady Gaga, Adele. These women are remembered not despite their distinctive features, but because of them. They took what made them different and made it their signature. They owned their uniqueness so completely that it became magnetic. This is what I mean when I say that goddess-level radiance comes from expressing who you are, not hiding it. The goal isn't to look like everyone else, but better. The goal is to look like the most confident, healthy, joyful version of yourself. And that brings me to the final piece of the radiance puzzle: authenticity. Authenticity isn't about being raw and unfiltered all the time. It's about making choices that align with who you actually are instead of who you think you should be. When your external presentation matches your internal reality, people sense it immediately. There is a coherence, a consistency, an ease that's incredibly attractive. When there's a disconnect between how you're presenting and who you actually are, people sense that too. And it makes them uncomfortable, even if they can't put their finger on why. This is why copying someone else's style or personality never works long term. You might be able to pull it off for a while, but maintaining a persona that isn't actually you is exhausting. And that exhaustion shows up in your energy, which kills your magnetism. The most magnetic people aren't trying to be anyone else. They're just being themselves with complete conviction. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but what if myself isn't that interesting? What if I'm just boring? First of all, I promise you're not boring. You just might not know how to present your interesting qualities yet. Second, interesting isn't about being dramatic or unique or having the wildest stories. Some of the most magnetic people I know are fascinating because of how deeply they appreciate simple things. Their curiosity about everyday life makes everything seem more interesting. Interesting is about being engaged with your own existence. It's about having opinions and passions and things you care about. It's about being curious about the world and the people in it. And here's the thing about authenticity and magnetism. When you're genuinely comfortable being yourself, you give other people permission to be themselves too. And that permission is incredibly attractive. People are drawn to those who make them feel more authentic, more accepted, more free to be who they really are. When you master your own authenticity, you become that person for others. But developing authentic confidence and presence isn't something that happens overnight. It's a practice, just like learning to apply eyeliner or perfecting your skincare routine. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into in the next part. The specific practices and mindset shifts that create that unshakable inner confidence that shows up as magnetic energy in everything you do. Because here's what I've discovered. The girls with true goddess energy aren't just lucky or naturally confident. They've learned specific techniques for cultivating the kind of inner glow that makes everything else, their skin, their style, their entire presence, look effortlessly radiant. Okay, I need you to sit down for this part because what I'm about to tell you is going to completely change how you think about the relationship between your mind and your face. Ready? Here it is. Your thoughts are literally sculpting your features right now as you're reading this. I know that sounds like some new age nonsense, but I'm talking about actual, measurable, scientific reality. Your facial expressions, your posture, your energy levels, even your skin texture, all of it is being shaped by what's happening in your head. And the crazy part? Most people have no idea this is happening. Let me paint you a picture. You know that girl who always looks stressed even when she's not talking about anything stressful? Her forehead has these permanent worry lines. Her jaw is always slightly clenched. Her shoulders are hunched forward just a little bit. That's not genetics. That's her thoughts literally reshaping her face and body over time. Now, think about someone who always seems relaxed and confident. Their face looks open, their posture is naturally straight, their skin has the smooth, unworried quality. Even their eyes look brighter and more alive. Same thing, but in reverse. This is what I call the inner glow algorithm. And once you understand how it works, you can literally reprogram your face to look more confident, more relaxed, and more radiant without changing a single thing about your skincare routine or makeup technique. But first, let me tell you the story of how I accidentally discovered this, because it's going to blow your mind. About a year ago, I was going through what I can only describe as the most anxious period of my life. Everything felt overwhelming. I was constantly worried about school, relationships, my future, what people thought of me. You know the drill. And here's the weird thing. Even though I was maintaining my skincare routine and makeup game, I looked terrible. Not just tired, I looked fundamentally different. My face seemed narrower. My eyes looked smaller. My skin had this dull, tight quality that no amount of highlighter could fix. I assumed it was stress breakouts, or maybe I needed to switch up my products. So I did what any rational person would do. I bought a bunch of new stuff and hoped for the best. Nothing changed. Then I went on a week-long camping trip with my family. No mirrors, no makeup, barely any skincare. I was expecting to look absolutely awful by the end of it. But something weird happened. Being completely disconnected from social media, from school stress, from all the mental noise that usually fills my head, I felt more like myself than I had in months. I was laughing more, sleeping better, not constantly analyzing my appearance or my interactions with people. And when I finally saw myself in a mirror at the end of the week, I looked better than I had in months. Better than when I was using all my expensive products and spending an hour on my makeup every morning. My face looked more open, my eyes looked brighter, my skin had this natural glow that I hadn't seen in ages. That's when it clicked. The problem wasn't my skincare routine. The problem was my mental routine. All that anxiety and self-criticism and constant worry, it was showing up in my face. My chronic stress was literally changing my bone structure, my muscle tension, my skin quality. And when I removed that mental stress, even temporarily, my face went back to looking like me, but better. This sent me down a research rabbit hole that changed everything about how I approach confidence and attractiveness. Here's what I discovered. There is actual neuroscience behind this stuff. When you're anxious or self-critical, your brain activates your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response. This causes a cascade of physical changes. Your muscles tense up, your blood flow changes, your breathing becomes shallow, your digestion slows down. Over time, these changes become your default state. Your face literally adapts to chronic tension. Your jaw stays slightly clenched. Your brow furrows become deeper. Your mouth turns down at the corners. Your posture closes in on itself. But here's the amazing part. When you consciously shift into a more relaxed, confident state of mind, the reverse happens. Your parasympathetic nervous system activates the rest and digest response. Your muscles relax, your circulation improves, your breathing deepens, your entire face opens up. This isn't just about looking less stressed, this is about fundamentally changing the shape and energy of your features. I started experimenting with this immediately. Instead of just focusing on what products to put on my face, I started focusing on what thoughts to put in my mind. The results were insane. Within a week of consistently practicing what I'm about to teach you, people started asking me if I'd lost weight, if I'd changed my hair, if I was using a new skincare product. My mom asked if I'd gotten my eyebrows done. I hadn't changed anything except my mental routine. So let me break down the inner glow algorithm for you, step by step. Step 1, understanding your current mental pattern. Before you can change something, you need to notice it. And most of us have no idea what our default mental state actually is because we're so used to it. For the next few days, I want you to start paying attention to your internal monologue, especially when you're looking in the mirror or getting ready. What's the voice in your head saying? Is it critical, encouraging, neutral, anxious? Most people are shocked when they actually tune into their self-talk because it's way harsher than anything they would ever say to a friend. Ugh, my skin looks terrible today. This outfit makes me look weird. Why is my hair so flat? I look so tired. Everyone's going to notice this breakout. Sound familiar? Every single one of these thoughts creates a micro-expression of tension, worry, or dissatisfaction. And over time, those micro-expressions become permanent features. This is literally why self-doubt is ruining your bone structure. When you're constantly criticizing your appearance, your face adapts to express that criticism. Your features arrange themselves into a pattern of dissatisfaction. Your energy becomes focused on what's wrong instead of what's right, and people can sense that energy immediately, even if they can't articulate what they're picking up on. Step 2, the 10-minute morning confidence ritual. Now that you understand how your thoughts are affecting your appearance, let's reprogram the algorithm. This morning ritual is designed to shift your nervous system into a confident, relaxed state before you even look in the mirror. When you approach your reflection from a place of calm appreciation instead of anxious criticism, everything changes. Here's exactly how to do it. Minutes 1-3, nervous system reset. Before you get out of bed, before you check your phone, before you do anything else, you're going to reset your nervous system for the day. Lie on your back and take 5 deep breaths, but make them specific. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale for 6 counts. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system and tells your body it's safe to relax. Then, starting from your toes and working up to your scalp, consciously relax each part of your body. This isn't just hippie stuff. You're literally releasing the physical tension that creates stressed facial expressions. Minutes 4, 6. Confidence visualization. Now you're going to spend 2 minutes visualizing yourself moving through your day with complete confidence and ease. But here's the key. Don't visualize yourself looking different. Visualize yourself feeling different. See yourself walking with your shoulders back, making easy eye contact, smiling genuinely, feeling comfortable in your own skin. Really feel what that would be like. What would your posture be like? How would you speak? How would you interact with people? The more vivid and detailed you can make this visualization, the more your nervous system will start to adapt to this confident state as your new normal. Minutes 7 to 10, appreciation practice. This is the part that changes everything, but it's also the part most people want to skip because it feels cheesy. You're going to spend the last few minutes actively appreciating your body and your appearance. Not in a fake, positive thinking way, but in a genuine, curious way. Start with something easy. Maybe you have pretty hands, or you love the color of your eyes, or your hair smells really good today. Then expand from there. Appreciate your body for what it does for you, not just how it looks. Your legs that carry you places, your arms that hug people you love, your face that expresses your personality. The goal isn't to convince yourself you're perfect. The goal is to shift from a critical, analytical relationship with your appearance to an appreciative, loving one. And here's why this works. When you approach your reflection with appreciation instead of criticism, your face literally arranges itself differently. Your features relax into a more open, attractive expression. Your eyes brighten, your posture improves. People can sense this shift in how you relate to yourself, and they respond to it immediately. Step 3, the confidence anchor technique. Throughout the day, you're going to anchor this confident state so you can access it anytime you need it. Here's how it works. During your morning visualization, when you're really feeling that sense of confidence and ease, press your thumb and forefinger together gently. Do this every time you practice, and your nervous system will start to associate that physical gesture with the confident state. Then, whenever you're feeling insecure or anxious during the day, before walking into a room, before talking to someone you're nervous about, before taking a photo, use your anchor. Press your thumb and forefinger together and take a deep breath. Your nervous system will remember the confident state and help you access it, even in challenging situations. This isn't magic. It's basic neuroscience. You're literally training your brain to default to confidence instead of anxiety. Step 4, the mirror game changer. Now we get to the revolutionary part, changing how you interact with mirrors. Most people use mirrors as criticism tools. They look for flaws, analyze problems, focus on what needs to be fixed or hidden. But what if mirrors could be confidence tools instead? Here's what I want you to try. Every time you catch your reflection, before you analyze anything, smile at yourself first. Not a fake smile, but the kind of warm smile you'd give a good friend you hadn't seen in a while. Let your eyes crinkle. Let it be genuine. This does 2 things. First, it immediately shifts your facial expression into something more attractive and open. But more importantly, it changes the energy you bring to evaluating your appearance. When you smile at yourself first, you're approaching your reflection as a friend instead of a critic. And friends see beauty that critics miss. Try this for a week and watch how different you look in every mirror, not because your features changed, but because your energy changed. Step 5, the compliment integration process. Here's something most people get completely wrong: how to receive compliments. When someone tells you that you look nice, or that they love your hair, or that you seem confident, what's your immediate reaction? If you're like most people, you either deflect it, "Oh, this old thing," minimize it, "I don't feel confident at all," or internally question it, "They're just being nice." But every time you reject a compliment, you're literally training your brain to reject evidence of your own attractiveness. Instead, I want you to try something radical. Just say thank you and let the compliment land. Don't deflect, don't minimize, don't explain. Just receive it. Even better, write it down. Keep a note in your phone of genuine compliments people give you, not to feed your ego, but to train your brain to notice and remember positive feedback instead of only focusing on criticism. This rewires your internal algorithm to look for evidence of your attractiveness instead of evidence of your flaws. The science behind why this works so fast. You might be wondering why these mental shifts create such quick physical changes. Here's the fascinating part. Your face is controlled by 43 different muscles, and most of them are influenced by your emotional state. When you're anxious or self-critical, you unconsciously tense certain facial muscles. Your brow furrows slightly, your jaw clenches a little, your mouth turns down at the corners, your eyes narrow. These micro expressions compound over time, but they can also be reversed quickly when you consciously shift your mental state. When you practice confidence and self-appreciation, those same muscles relax into more attractive positions. Your brow smooths, your jaw unclenches, your mouth relaxes into a more pleasant expression, your eyes open wider and look brighter. This isn't just about looking less stressed, this is about accessing the most attractive version of your existing features. But here's what I discovered that really blew my mind. This mental work doesn't just change how you look, it changes how other people see you. There's something called the halo effect in psychology, which means that when people perceive you as having one positive quality, they assume you have other positive qualities too. When your energy is confident and comfortable, people assume you're more intelligent, more interesting, more successful, and yes, more attractive. Not because you're trying to impress them, but because confidence is inherently impressive. But, and this is crucial, it has to be authentic confidence, not performed confidence. Performed confidence is exhausting to maintain and easy for people to see through. It's trying to convince everyone, including yourself, that you're more confident than you actually feel. Authentic confidence is simply being comfortable with exactly who you are right now, flaws and all. It's not about thinking you're perfect, it's about thinking you're enough. And here's the beautiful paradox. When you stop trying so hard to be confident and just focus on being comfortable with yourself, you naturally become more confident. The biggest mistake people make with inner work. Before I tell you what happens when you master this inner glow algorithm, I need to warn you about the biggest mistake people make when they start doing this kind of mental work. They expect it to feel natural immediately. Here's the truth. If you've been practicing self-criticism for years, self-appreciation is going to feel weird at first. If you've been anxious for a long time, confidence is going to feel unfamiliar. That's not a sign that it's not working. That's a sign that it is working. Your brain is literally rewiring itself. And that process feels strange because you're creating new neural pathways. The discomfort is temporary, but the results are permanent. Don't let the initial awkwardness convince you that you're not a confident person or that this stuff doesn't work for you. Every single person I know who has mastered authentic confidence went through a period where it felt forced and unnatural. Push through that phase. It's worth it. What happens when you master the inner glow algorithm? When you consistently practice these techniques for a few weeks, something magical happens. Confidence stops being something you have to work at and starts being something you just are. You stop checking your reflection obsessively because you trust that you look fine. You stop second-guessing your outfit choices because you know that your confidence is more important than your clothes. You stop worrying about what other people think because you genuinely like yourself. And that shift, from seeking approval to being self-approved, is incredibly attractive to everyone around you. But the most amazing part is how it changes your actual features. Your face becomes more animated and expressive. Your posture improves automatically. Your skin looks healthier because you're not stressed all the time. Your eyes look brighter because you're more present and engaged with life. You become more yourself, and more yourself is always more attractive than trying to be someone else. This is what I mean when I say that the most powerful beauty work happens from the inside out. When you fix your relationship with yourself, everything else, your skin, your style, your presence, naturally improves. But inner work is just the foundation. In the next part, we're going to build on this confidence base with the physical techniques that make your skin look absolutely radiant, even without makeup. Because here's what I've learned. When you combine authentic inner confidence with strategic outer techniques, that's when you become absolutely unstoppable. All right, now that we've got your inner confidence radiating from the inside out, let's talk about making your skin match that energy. Because here's what I've realized after years of trying every skincare trend, expensive treatment, and miracle product. The most gorgeous skin I've ever seen wasn't created in a dermatologist's office or with a $300 serum. It was created by a girl who understood exactly what her skin needed and gave it to her consistently, using techniques that cost practically nothing but deliver results that look like you spent thousands. And I'm about to share every single one of those techniques with you. But first, let me tell you about the moment that changed my entire relationship with skincare forever. I was at my friend Sarah's house, and she had just gotten out of the shower. No makeup, hair in a towel, completely natural. And I swear to you, her skin looked like it was lit from within. Smooth even, glowing, like she had a permanent filter on her face. Naturally, I immediately demanded to know her skincare routine, expecting her to rattle off some elaborate 12-step process with products I'd never heard of. Her answer? I wash my face with CeraVe, use a basic moisturizer, and do this weird thing with ice water that my mom taught me. That's it. That was her entire routine. I was skeptical, obviously. There had to be something else. Good genetics, expensive facials, professional treatments, something that explained why her skin looked absolutely perfect while mine looked like I was constantly fighting a war against dullness and texture. But Sarah insisted, basic cleanser, basic moisturizer, and the ice water thing. So I made her show me exactly what she meant by the ice water thing. What she showed me that day is now the foundation of everything I do for my skin. It's the $3 drugstore trick that I mentioned in the outline, and it's going to change your skin in ways you won't believe until you try it. But before I get to that specific technique, I need you to understand something fundamental about what actually makes skin glow. The real science of radiant skin. Most skincare advice focuses on treating problems: acne, dryness, aging, hyperpigmentation. And while addressing specific concerns is important, it's not what creates that coveted glow. Glowing skin isn't just problem-free skin, it's skin that's functioning optimally. And optimal skin function comes down to 3 things: circulation, hydration, and barrier health. Let me break this down. Circulation is what makes your skin look alive and vibrant instead of dull and flat. When blood flow to your face is good, your skin gets more oxygen and nutrients, which shows up as that natural flush and brightness that no highlighter can replicate. Hydration, not just moisture on the surface, but actual water content in your skin cells, is what makes skin look plump, smooth, and bouncy instead of tight and textured. Barrier health is what keeps all that good stuff locked in and environmental stressors locked out. When your skin barrier is strong, your skin can maintain its hydration and protect itself from irritation, which means it stays calm, clear, and resilient. The techniques I'm about to share with you target all 3 of these factors using methods that cost almost nothing but work, better than most expensive treatments. The Ice Water Circulation Boost. Okay, let's start with Sarah's secret weapon, the ice water technique. This sounds almost too simple to work, but the science behind it is solid. When you expose your skin to cold water, especially ice cold water, you trigger something called vasoconstriction followed by vasodilation. In plain English, the cold makes your blood vessels tighten up, and then when you remove the cold, they expand wider than they were before. This creates a rush of fresh, oxygenated blood to your face, which immediately makes your skin look brighter, more awake, and more alive. Professional spas charge hundreds of dollars for cryotherapy treatments that do essentially the same thing. Here's exactly how to do it. Fill a large bowl with the coldest water you can get from your tap, then add a handful of ice cubes. You want it cold enough that it's almost uncomfortable. After you've cleansed your face, more on the best cleansing technique in a minute, splash this ice water on your face 10-15 times, making sure to get your forehead, cheeks, chin, and neck. Don't just splash and immediately wipe off. Let the water sit on your skin for a few seconds each time so your blood vessels really respond to the temperature. The first few splashes might make you gasp a little. That's exactly what you want. That's your circulation kicking into high gear. After 10-15 splashes, pat your face dry gently and immediately apply your moisturizer while your skin is still slightly damp. Do this every morning, and I guarantee you'll see a difference in your skin's brightness and vitality within 3 days. By the end of the first week, people will start asking if you've been getting more sleep or if you're using a new product. But here's the thing. This only works if the rest of your routine is supporting your skin instead of fighting against it. So let's talk about how to create the perfect foundation for radiant skin. The gentle cleansing method that changes everything. Most people are sabotaging their glow before they even start with their skincare routine because they're over-cleansing or using harsh techniques that damage their skin barrier. Your skin barrier is like the bouncer at an exclusive club. Its job is to keep the good stuff in and the bad stuff out. But when you're too aggressive with cleansing, you're basically firing your bouncer and leaving your skin vulnerable to dehydration, irritation, and all the environmental stressors that make skin look dull and tired. The secret is something called gentle efficacy, cleaning your skin thoroughly but without stripping away the natural oils and beneficial bacteria that keep it healthy. Here's the method that transformed my skin. Step 1. The oil cleanse. Yes, even if you have oily skin. Before you use any water or foam cleanser, massage a small amount of cleansing oil into dry skin for 30-60 seconds. This dissolves makeup, sunscreen, and oil-based impurities without disrupting your skin barrier. If you don't want to buy a specific cleansing oil, you can use jojoba oil, which is technically a wax that mimics your skin's natural sebum. The key is to massage gently with your fingertips, not scrubbing or pulling at your skin. Let the oil do the work. Step 2. The water-based cleanse. After massaging with oil, splash your face with lukewarm, not hot water to emulsify the oil, then follow with a gentle, low pH cleanser. CeraVe Foaming Facial Cleanser is perfect for this, but any gentle cleanser without sulfates or strong fragrances will work. Use gentle circular motions with your fingertips for about 30 seconds, then rinse thoroughly with lukewarm water. Step 3. The final rinse. Here's where most people stop, but this final step is what takes your cleansing from basic to glow-inducing. After your regular rinse, do one final rinse with the coldest water you can tolerate. This closes your pores, boosts circulation, and prepares your skin perfectly for the ice water treatment I mentioned earlier. The hydration method that makes you look years younger. Now we get to the part that's going to make the biggest difference in how young and healthy your skin looks. Deep hydration using the layering method. Most people think hydration is just about using a moisturizer, but that's like thinking nutrition is just about dinner. Your skin needs hydration at multiple levels and in multiple forms to look plump, smooth, and radiant. Here's the method that makes skin look noticeably younger and healthier within 24 hours. Layer 1. The Essence Art Toner. While your skin is still slightly damp from cleansing, apply a hydrating toner or essence. This is basically water with beneficial ingredients that can penetrate deeper than regular moisturizer. Pat it into your skin with your hands. Don't use cotton pads, which just absorb the product instead of getting it into your skin. The goal is to get that first layer of hydration into your skin cells while your pores are still open from cleansing. Layer 2. The serum. If you're going to invest in one expensive skincare product, make it a good hyaluronic acid serum. Hyaluronic acid can hold up to 1,000 times its weight in water, which means it pulls moisture from the environment and deeper layers of your skin up to the surface. Apply 2 to 3 drops to damp skin and pat it in gently. Don't rub, patting helps the serum penetrate better. Layer 3. The moisturizer. While the serum is still wet on your skin, apply your moisturizer on top. This seals in all the previous layers and creates a protective barrier that prevents water loss throughout the day. The key is applying each layer while the previous one is still slightly wet. This creates what skincare experts call moisture sandwiching, where each layer helps the next one penetrate deeper and work more effectively. The Night Boost Technique. At night, after your regular routine, try this advanced hydration trick that will make you wake up looking like you had the most expensive facial. Take a small amount of a heavier moisturizer or facial oil and warm it between your palms. Then press your palms gently against your face and hold for 10-15 seconds. The heat from your hands helps the products penetrate deeper, and the gentle pressure stimulates circulation while you sleep. I call this the hand masking technique, and it's honestly more effective than most overnight treatments I've tried. The skin prep secrets that make makeup look effortless. Now let's talk about preparing your skin so that makeup looks naturally flawless instead of obviously applied. The difference between makeup that looks professional and makeup that looks amateur usually isn't the products or the application technique, it's the canvas. When your skin is properly prepped, even drugstore makeup looks expensive. When your skin isn't prepped correctly, even high-end makeup can look cakey and obvious. The primer alternative that works better than primer. Instead of using a separate primer, try this technique that creates the perfect base for makeup using products you probably already have. After your moisturizer has absorbed, wait 5 to 10 minutes. Apply a tiny amount of face oil or an extra drop of serum to the high points of your face, cheekbones, nose bridge, chin, forehead. This creates a subtle luminosity that makes your skin look lit from within, and it helps your foundation blend seamlessly instead of sitting on top of your skin. The key is using just enough to create a dewy finish without looking greasy. 1 drop of oil warmed between your palms and pressed onto your face is usually perfect. The blotting technique that maintains glow. Throughout the day, instead of using powder to control shine, which can make skin look flat and matte, try the tissue blotting technique. Take a single tissue and gently press it against oily areas. Don't rub or wipe. This removes excess oil while leaving the healthy glow intact. If you need a little more coverage, apply concealer or a tiny amount of cream foundation directly to the areas where you blotted, then blend with your fingertips. This maintains that natural skin-like finish while still looking polished and put together. Katsai Weekly Glow Boost Treatments. In addition to your daily routine, there are a few weekly treatments that will take your skin from good to absolutely radiant. The Honey Face Massage. Once a week, after cleansing, apply a thin layer of raw honey to your face and gently massage it in circular motions for 2 to 3 minutes. Honey is naturally antibacterial and humectant, which means it draws moisture to your skin while fighting bacteria that can cause breakouts. The gentle massage stimulates circulation and lymphatic drainage, which reduces puffiness and creates that natural flush that makes skin look healthy and alive. Leave the honey on for another 10 to 15 minutes as a mask, then rinse with lukewarm water followed by your ice water treatment. The DIY vitamin C treatment mix 1 to 4 teaspoons of powdered vitamin C, ascorbic acid, which you can get at any health food store, with a small amount of water to create a paste. Apply this to clean skin and leave for 5 to 10 minutes before rinsing off. Vitamin C stimulates collagen production and brightens skin, but the powdered form is much more potent and cost-effective than most vitamin C serums. Just make sure to use sunscreen the day after this treatment, as vitamin C can make your skin more photosensitive. The lymphatic drainage massage. This is the technique that makes the biggest difference in how sculpted and defined your face looks, and it costs absolutely nothing. Using clean hands, start at the center of your forehead and sweep outward toward your temples with gentle pressure. Then, starting at the inner corners of your eyes, sweep under your eyes toward your ears. Finally, start at the center of your chin and sweep up along your jawline toward your ears, then down your neck toward your collarbone. Do this for 2-3 minutes. 2 to 3 times per week, and you'll notice that your face looks less puffy, more defined, and naturally more sculpted. This technique drains excess fluid and toxins from your facial tissues, which is why your face looks so much better after a professional facial. They're doing lymphatic drainage without calling it that. The mistake that's sabotaging your glow. Before we move on to the makeup techniques in the next part, I need to warn you about the biggest mistake people make when they start focusing on creating radiant skin. They try to do everything at once. I know it's tempting to implement every single technique I've shared immediately, but your skin needs time to adjust to new routines. If you change everything at once, you won't know which techniques are actually making a difference, and you risk overwhelming your skin. Start with the basics: gentle cleansing, proper hydration, and the ice water circulation boost. Do that consistently for 1 week, then add one new technique at a time. Your skin will thank you for the gradual approach, and you'll be able to see exactly which techniques work best for your specific skin type and concerns. What to expect in the first week. When you start implementing these techniques consistently, here's what you can expect. Days 1 to 2. Your skin might look slightly different as it adjusts to the new routine. This is normal. Days 3 to 4. You'll start noticing that your skin looks more awake and vibrant, especially in the morning after the ice water treatment. Days 5 to 7. Other people will start commenting that you look well rested, healthy, or like you're glowing. After 2 weeks of consistency, these techniques become second nature, and the glow becomes your new normal. But here's where things get really exciting. When you combine this radiant, healthy skin foundation with the right makeup techniques, that's when you become absolutely magnetic. And that's exactly what we're covering in the next part: the specific makeup placement and application secrets that make your features look naturally perfect and your skin look expensive, even when you're using drugstore products. Because here's what I've discovered: when your skin is properly prepped and glowing from within, makeup becomes about enhancement instead of coverage. And enhancement always looks more beautiful than coverage. Okay, so you've got your skin glowing from within, your confidence radiating from the inside out, and now we get to the fun part: makeup techniques that make people do double takes and wonder what's different about you. But here's what I need you to understand before we dive into the actual techniques. Everything I'm about to share is based on one fundamental principle that most makeup tutorials completely miss. The goal isn't to look like you're wearing makeup. The goal is to look like the most gorgeous, well-rested, naturally radiant version of yourself, and that requires a completely different approach than what you've probably been taught. Most makeup tutorials focus on coverage, precision, and dramatic transformation, but goddess-level makeup is about enhancement, softness, and subtle perfection that looks effortless, even though it's completely intentional. I learned this lesson the hard way during what I now call my Instagram makeup phase. You know the look I'm talking about: full coverage foundation, carved out contour, perfectly outlined lips, razor sharp winged eyeliner, lashes that could cause wind damage. I spent hours perfecting these techniques. My makeup skills were genuinely impressive. I looked flawless in photos, but in real life, I looked like I was wearing a mask. The makeup was beautiful, but it wasn't beautiful on me. It was sitting on top of my face instead of enhancing my actual features. People complimented my makeup skills, but nobody ever said I looked naturally gorgeous. And honestly, I felt disconnected from my own reflection. I didn't look like myself. I looked like my interpretation of what Instagram thought beautiful should look like. The turning point came when I saw a photo of French actress Léa Seydoux at a red carpet event. Her makeup was so subtle that you could barely tell she was wearing any, but she looked absolutely luminous. Her skin looked perfect but real. Her features looked enhanced but natural. She looked like herself, but turned up to 11. That's when I realized I'd been approaching makeup completely backwards. Instead of using makeup to transform myself into someone else, I needed to use makeup to reveal the best version of myself. This shift in mindset changed everything about my approach to cosmetics, and it's about to change yours too. The 3-product rule. That changes everything. Before I get into specific techniques, let me share the discovery that revolutionized my entire makeup routine. You only need 3 products to look absolutely stunning. I know that sounds impossible in a world where makeup collections are treated like art installations, but hear me out. When I was going through my makeup drawer one day, I found a photo of my great-grandmother from the 1950s. She looked absolutely radiant, glowing skin, defined features, that effortless elegance that women from that era seemed to master naturally. And what was available to them? Lipstick, powder, and maybe some rouge. That's it. No contouring palettes, no 20-shade eyeshadow collections, no complicated techniques. Just 3 products used strategically to enhance their natural beauty. So I challenged myself. Could I create a look that rivaled my most complex makeup routines using only 3 products? The answer was not only yes, but the 3-product look was actually more beautiful than my elaborate routines because it looked more like me. Here are the 3 products that can instantly upgrade any look from basic to breathtaking. Product number 1, a cream blush that matches your natural flush. This is the game changer that most people overlook. The right cream blush, applied correctly, does more to make you look healthy and alive than any other single product. But here's the key. It has to match the color your cheeks naturally turn when you're slightly embarrassed, excited, or have just come in from the cold. For most people, this isn't the bright pink or coral that makeup brands push. It's usually a more muted, natural tone. Maybe a soft peach, a warm rose, or even a subtle berry. To find your perfect shade, pinch your cheeks gently and look at the color that appears. That's your natural flush, and that's the color that will look most believable and gorgeous on you. Apply cream blush to the apples of your cheeks using your fingertips, then blend upward toward your temples. The key is to apply it where you naturally flush, then extend it slightly to lift your face. Product number 2, a tinted lip balm. 1 shade deeper than your natural lip color. Forget about perfectly outlined matte lips. The most attractive lip look is one that enhances your natural lip color and texture. Find a tinted balm that's just 1 shade deeper and slightly more saturated than your natural lips. This creates the effect of naturally perfect lips, the kind of lips that look like you just bit them gently or had a really good kiss. Apply it straight from the tube for a natural diffused look, or press it into the center of your lips and blend outward with your finger for an even more subtle effect. Product number 3, a brown mascara that matches your hair. Here's where I'm going to blow your mind. Black mascara might be making you look harsher than you realize. Unless your hair is naturally very dark, brown mascara will look more natural and actually make your eyes look bigger and brighter because it doesn't create such a stark contrast against your skin. The key is finding a brown that complements your hair color. Warmer browns for blonde or red hair, cooler browns for brunettes. Apply 1 coat to both top and bottom lashes, focusing on separating and defining each lash rather than creating volume or length. That's it. Those 3 products, applied with the right techniques, will make you look naturally gorgeous in a way that 20 products applied incorrectly never could. But now, let me show you the specific placement techniques that make these simple products look professionally applied. The placement secret that makes your features look naturally perfect. Here's what makeup artists know that most tutorials don't teach. Placement is everything. You can have the most expensive products in the world, but if you put them in the wrong places, they'll make you look worse, not better. Conversely, drugstore products placed correctly can make you look like you spent hours with a professional makeup artist. The secret is understanding your face's natural geometry and working with it, not against it. The cheek placement that lifts your entire face. Most people apply blush to the apples of their cheeks and stop there. But if you want to create that naturally sculpted, youthful look, you need to think about blush as a lifting technique, not just a color adding technique. Here's the professional placement method. Smile naturally and apply your cream blush to the apples of your cheeks using your fingertips. Then, and this is the crucial part, blend the blush upward and outward toward your temples, following the natural curve of your cheekbone. This creates an invisible lifting effect that makes your whole face look more youthful and defined. But here's the advanced technique that takes this to the next level. Apply a tiny amount of the same blush to the bridge of your nose, your chin, and your forehead. This creates what makeup artists call a monochromatic flush, the kind of all-over glow that looks like you just had the most amazing workout or the best day of your life. The eye technique that makes you look awake without looking made up. The biggest mistake people make with eye makeup is focusing on their eyelids when they should be focusing on their lash line and brow bone. Here's the technique that creates bright, awake-looking eyes using just mascara and the cream blush you're already wearing. After applying your mascara, take a tiny amount of your cream blush on your fingertip and pat it gently onto your eyelids, focusing on the area closest to your lash line. This creates a subtle warmth that makes your eyes look naturally vibrant and coordinated with the rest of your face. Then, take an even tinier amount and pat it just under your brow bone. This creates a subtle highlight that opens up your eye area without looking obviously highlighted. The lip technique that makes them look naturally perfect. The secret to lips that look naturally gorgeous isn't perfect application. It's imperfect application done intentionally. Instead of applying your tinted lip balm evenly all over your lips, try this. Apply the balm to the center of your lips, both top and bottom. Then, using your fingertip, blend it outward, leaving the edges of your lips slightly less defined. This creates the effect of naturally perfect lips. Like your lips just naturally have that perfect color and shine. For an even more natural look, after applying the tinted balm, gently bite your lips or press them together. This redistributes the color in a way that looks completely natural and effortless. The no makeup formula that drives people crazy. Now let me share the exact routine that creates that she's not wearing makeup but she looks absolutely stunning effect that makes people stop and stare. This is the look that gets you compliments like, "You have such beautiful skin and you look so fresh and natural when you're actually wearing makeup." It's just applied so skillfully that it's invisible. Step 1. The invisible base. Instead of foundation, use a tinted moisturizer or mix a drop of your regular foundation with your moisturizer. The goal is to even out your skin tone without covering your natural skin texture. Apply this mixture with your hands, pressing it into your skin rather than rubbing it on. Focus on the center of your face where you tend to have more redness or discoloration and blend outward. Step 2. The strategic concealer. Only use concealer where you actually need it, under your eyes if you have dark circles, and on any blemishes or red spots. The key is using less than you think you need and blending the edges seamlessly into your skin. The goal is to spot correct, not to cover your entire face. Step 3. The natural flush. Apply your cream blush using the lifting technique I described earlier, but use an even lighter hand than usual. You want just a hint of natural color that could believably be your natural flush. Step 4. The barely there eyes. Apply your brown mascara to clean lashes, focusing on separation rather than volume. If your lashes tend to clump, use a clean spoolie brush to separate them after application. Then, take the tiniest amount of your cream blush and pat it onto your eyelids as described earlier. Step 5. The perfect lips. Apply your tinted lip balm using the center out technique, then press your lips together gently to distribute the color naturally. Step 6. The final touch. Here's the secret step that ties everything together. Mist your face lightly with a facial spray or even just water in a spray bottle. This sets your makeup while adding a natural dewiness that makes your skin look alive and healthy. The color theory that makes everything look expensive. Now let's talk about why some makeup looks expensive and polished while other makeup looks cheap and obvious, even when using the same products. It all comes down to color theory and understanding how colors interact with your skin tone. The most expensive looking makeup uses colors that are in the same color family and complement your natural coloring. When your blush, lip color, and even your eye makeup are all variations of the same undertone, everything looks coordinated and intentional. Here's how to find your perfect color family. Look at the veins on the inside of your wrist. If they appear blue or purple, you have cool undertones. If they appear green, you have warm undertones. If you can't tell or they appear blue-green, you have neutral undertones. For cool undertones, your best colors are in the pink, berry, and plum families. Think rose, mauve, dusty pink, and cool reds. For warm undertones, your best colors are in the peach, coral, and warm red families. Think apricot, warm pinks, orange red, and golden colors. For neutral undertones, you can wear both warm and cool colors, but your best looks come from muted versions of any color family. The key is choosing all your makeup colors from the same undertone family. When your blush, lips, and any eye color you use all have the same underlying tone, everything that looks sophisticated and pulled together. The blending techniques that make everything look professional. The difference between makeup that looks amateur and makeup that looks professional isn't the products, it's the blending. Professional makeup artists spend years learning to blend seamlessly, but I'm going to give you the shortcuts that create the same effect. The fingertip method. For cream products like blush and lip color, your fingertips are the best tools. They are the perfect temperature to warm up cream products and blend them naturally into your skin. The key is using a patting motion rather than a rubbing motion. Pat the product into place, then use gentle circular motions to blend the edges. The gradient technique. Whether you're blending blush, eyeshadow, or lip color, always work in gradients, from the most intense color in the center to the lightest application at the edges. This creates a natural dimensional look that appears effortless, even though it's carefully planned. The less is more rule. It's always easier to add more color than to remove it. Start with less product than you think you need, blend it out, then add more if necessary. This prevents the harsh, obvious look that happens when you apply too much product at once, the mistakes that ruin the whole effect. Before I share the advanced techniques in the next part, let me warn you about the mistakes that can ruin even perfect application. Mistake number 1, mismatched foundation. Nothing ruins a natural look faster than foundation that doesn't match your skin tone. When in doubt, go slightly lighter rather than darker, and always test foundation on your jawline, not your hand. Mistake. Number 2, over-powdering powder can make even the dewiest base look flat and matte. If you need to set your makeup, use powder only where you tend to get oily, not all over your face. Mistake number 3, ignoring your lower lash line. One coat of mascara on your lower lashes makes a huge difference in opening up your eyes and creating balance. Don't skip this step. Mistake number 4, forgetting to blend your neck. Always blend any base makeup down onto your neck to avoid the dreaded makeup line. The advanced techniques that separate good from goddess level. Once you've mastered the basics, here are the advanced techniques that take your makeup from pretty to absolutely magnetic. The inner corner highlight. Take a tiny amount of a light shimmery eyeshadow, or even just a dab of your cream blush mixed with a tiny bit of highlighter, and pat it into the inner corners of your eyes. This creates an instant brightening effect that makes you look more awake and youthful. The Cupid's bow definition. Use your fingertip to gently press a tiny amount of your tinted lip balm into your Cupid's bow, the curved part at the top of your upper lip. This subtle highlighting makes your lips look naturally fuller and more defined. The nose contour. That actually looks natural. Instead of using a dark contour color, use a shade of your cream blush that's one shade deeper than what you're using on your cheeks. Apply it to the sides of your nose using your fingertip and blend thoroughly. This creates subtle definition without looking obvious. What happens when you master these techniques? When you consistently apply these enhancement techniques, something amazing happens. You start getting compliments on your natural beauty instead of your makeup skills. People will tell you that you look well-rested, healthy, glowing, all the things that indicate true attractiveness rather than just skillful product application. But the most important thing is how you feel. When your makeup enhances rather than masks your natural features, you feel more like yourself, more confident, more comfortable, more authentic, and that authenticity is what creates the magnetic energy that makes people want to be around you. In the next part, we're going to expand beyond just face makeup to cover everything that contributes to your overall magnetic presence. Your hair, your style, your posture, and the subtle details that most people overlook, but that make the biggest impact on how others perceive you. Because true goddess energy isn't just about having perfect makeup. It's about presenting a complete, polished, confident version of yourself in every aspect of your appearance and energy.